Yeah, we have a small introduction now. Why don't you say hello to us?
Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Nice to see you all.
Would you introduce who you are?
I am Virginia Saldana, the former uh, Executive Secretary of the Federation of Asian Bishops Conferences Office of Family, Laity, and Women till 2010.
Yeah. Here we have a lot of strong women here. So many feminists here. Good to see you both.
Hello, Felicia.
Yeah. Hello, long time no see.
Yeah.
Felicia, Rere from Indonesia?
Yeah.
Is that Rere?
Yeah,
Ah,
Rere. You remember
oh,
in the AY
yeah.
ATF? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, of course, of course.
Mm.
Mm.
What is the KMF Sangha? Could you explain what's the full form of that?
I'm going to speak today.
You'll be
at
speaking
Sangha.
later.
Uh,
Okay.
I used my friend's Zoom.
Okay.
We did many conferences here in Myanmar. It's not mine, but my friend's Zoom, and also still I am using still his. Yeah.
You're speaking from Myanmar.
Yes, I'm speaking
Yes.
from Myanmar. Yeah.
My
He's
goodness.
made a lot of efforts. Yeah.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
made a lot of efforts.
You all are very much in our thoughts and prayers.
Yeah.
Dylan, what happened to Columban?
무슨
The second
conference
speaker?
내용이?
There is a
Conference
unclear response from him.
내용이.
I did contact him earlier. I'll check with him once again.
Okay, hope you. Sabi.
Paul, are you still associated with Wuri Institute?
Yes, yes. Very behind you, there is the WTI. That is the logo of WTI.
Okay.
WTI also, make live streaming on YouTube.
Okay.
You know, to broadcast the Korean audience. So, hi, option. We have Jojo here.
Yes. Hi, Paul.
Hello, hello, Jojo. Welcome.
Hello.
Yes, thank
Yeah, please introduce yourself, Option and Jojo.
okay.
I can't hear.
So,
Switch on the light.
Jojo Fung, I'm actually Manila. Yeah, I came back here on February the 4th. No, February 24th. Yeah. Thank you.
So we missed the first part.
All right.
Is Afshan from Pakistan?
Yes.
Option from Pakistan.
Hi,
I
good evening.
recognize the chadar.
Shall I introduce myself?
Yes, 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 please.
Okay, I'm Afsha Iram. I am a teacher. At the moment, I'm teaching in public school. Before that, I taught in missionary college. So I have experience of public and, missionary institutes as well. And I was working with Father Emmanuel Assi because I was very inspired from his work he was doing for laity. So I've been very fortunate to be in Sri Lanka for 1 year. I was there at ISFA for a theological course, and I'm very fortunate to meet Father Tisabala Surya.
Oh,
So
wow.
he was there, yeah, he was there at that time when there was a a book, Mary and Liberation Theology.
Yes,
So I
yes.
was a child at that time, and we used to have that, there was a signatures campaign to get signatures. So we had to send to Vatican. So I didn't know at that time what is going on, but I was just inspired that somebody has said something which is, very, I mean, which can, what should I say,
Shake the Vatican.
break certain, mentality, or something has happened to church. I don't know. It's why people are so against to him. So I was very inspired to him, and I have been fortunate to meet him. And Father Anselm is there. He was there, OMI, and I had very good teachers there at ISFA. So it was my very good exposure. And then I worked at TIL, Theological Institute for laity for almost 2 years. And then I got married, and for so many for so many women of Asia, then it's somehow difficult to manage certain things. But whenever I get any chance, I just feel happy to join such people or movements. And if I can do anything by my pen, or by, I mean, if I can share anything, if I can say anything, I'm here. Thank you.
Can I have your contact, Afshan?
Yeah, sure.
Please type it in the chat.
Nilin has, he has.
Hmm.
Millen and Paul. I have their, I mean, I am part of their now group. I would say group.
Virginia,
Huh?
yeah, there is Afshan and one Alice Ba, also from Pakistan, who had joined All Forum program recently.
Yes.
They're very much interested in feminist theology and in joining EVA. So
Okay,
I
yeah,
want
that's
to
what I
connect
thought.
them
Yeah.
because Virginia is the secretary of Ecclesia of Women in Asia. So
Not any longer, not now, not now.
Oh,
I was the
okay,
last time.
finished.
Now Patricia is.
now Patricia.
But
right.
we can invite Afshan,
Yeah.
definitely.
Okay.
Right.
Your vision is later. Okay. We have Polycarp and Lam. Hello, Polycarp and Ram. So after your sharing of greetings and Nilan, why don't we start? We have
Yes, Paul.
10 minutes. Yeah, 10 is left.
Yes. Oh, yes. Hotway is here.
Kotwe. Okay, Columban is coming.
So, all right. A very good evening to everyone present here. We are also live on YouTube. Thank you for joining. So, before we begin, can we have a minute of silent prayer for the victims who've suffered and who lost their lives amidst the military coup in Myanmar? So, please let's all join our hands and pray that they find rest. All right, let's all come back. So today we are gathered here in this webinar to understand the military coup and the people's uprising in Myanmar and how the Asian religions can support this and promote solidarity interreligiously. Um, so first, I'd like to call Venerable Ma- Bhikkhu Mandala Zan. I'm sorry, bit struggling to pronounce your name, but um, Rev- Venerable Bhikkhu is a Buddhist monk from Myanmar, and he will give us insight about the Buddhist monk amidst the military junta. So over to you, Mandala.
Thank you so much for your invitation. I would like to use my PowerPoint presentations. Yeah, before I present my presentation, I would like to introduce myself. But for the reason of secrets, for security reasons, I don't want to say exactly where I am. It's dangerous right now. So I live in Mandalay and Myanmar. My name is Mandala. I grew up in the Buddhist community since I was young, and also I only living in the Buddhist monastery. I have never studied secular education. That's why I don't know much about the secular life. But in these situations, we are trying to help our society. This is my topic, and this is me. And Mandala Zan is my social media name. Bhikkhu is like a venerable. It means Buddhist monk. Um, Let me state what's happening in Myanmar. Since the February 1st till now, March 26th, we have the bad situation in the early morning of the February, and we lack of internet and mobile phone. We lost our leader. The military, they detain our leaders, and also they take power of the country. And we all feel suffer, and we feel like living in the danger, living in the darkness. And then after 3 days of military coup, and we start to demonstrate, protest. We demand our democracy back as soon as possible. Then the AAPP Assistant Association for Political Prisoners, Burma, they have a website on Twitter, and you can find their results every day. And they show their results more than today. We have more than 320 people had been killed in a violence crackdown. More than 2,900 had been arrested so far, and 1994 people are still in detention or have outstanding warrants by Myanmar military terrorists since the military coup on February 1st till now. But you know, people are fighting every possible wins, even they are killing every day. It's a bad situation. It's happening right now in Myanmar. And then we have a dream. Everyone has a dream to restore democracy. We believe that our dream will come true very soon. Even if we sleep at night and then we dream about we will wake up with the democracy and release all our political leaders, and then their military were down as soon as possible. That's our dream. That's why I thought the people of Myanmar won't give up. We never give up the revolution just by living at the gunpoint. The aspiration of freedom never die, but it rises at the right time to shape the revolution. The day our aspiration of freedom overcome the fear that success is inevitable. We believe that the real freedom will come back very soon with our leaders who are under the control of the military junta. This is our dream. The dream will come true very soon, for sure. In the military junta, not only Buddhist community, not only the Christian, not only Muslim communities are fighting. We all are together fighting to restore the democracy, even if we believe in different faiths, but we all demand the democracy to release our leaders. We are together, that's why we are more stronger, more united. Even if we live in diversity, the diversity make us more beautiful. And then in the back situation, we learn the differences, and then we see clearly, and we love more, and we understand more and more each other. We believe that after the situation, the bad situation, we will see more beautiful society in Myanmar as a beautiful garden. The civilians who participated in the 2007 civil revolution, one of the most famous uprising against the military regime in Myanmar, took to the streets protesting against the February past coup. They are marching to the UN office in Yangon. You could see there the picture. They are taking the picture. They took a picture in front of the UN office, and they marched and they demand what they want. And we hope that we could send our message to the international society. And we had another Buddhist community, the same community, but a different organization called Monks from the Peace Sangha Union, joined the people's protest. Not only the people, but also the monks, the nuns, they joined the military coup, against the military coup, walking straight from Nyata Pagoda in the Yangon Township, in Yangon, Kamayut. This is in Myanmar, Myanmar temple. We gather different monasteries at the Myanmar, and we march together. It's also called the Separate Revolution Monks. We have a high-ranking Buddhist monks. The monks also suspend the activities like CDM, Civil Disobedient Movement. The State Sangha Mahanayaka Committee called Mahana, a government-appointed body that oversees the Myanmar Buddhist manhood, has decided to stop its activities following a meeting on March 16. One of their 47 monks, they have 47 hierarchy monk who was in attendance told the medians. They told that in the drift 5-point statements, Mahanats, the Sangha, call on the authorities to end the violence, arrest, torture, and killing of unarmed civilians by the military, and to prevent the looting and destruction of public property. This the Mahana Sangha said in their drift. The abbot, the leader of the monk who spoke to the Myanmar Now media, said its official statements would be issued only after this decision by the Mahana has been submitted to the Minister of Religious Affairs and Culture on March 18, that these are the original documents. The military, they issue another one. It's They said it could be fate. They don't say. They say just only demand the pipeline. After dying the peasants by the military junta, the men's, the Christian priests, the Christian community, the Hindu community, the Muslim community. So we pray at night at 8 o'clock. And we prayed with a lot of candidates and Buddhist men and nuns in Mandalay, in Myanmar, around and Myanmar, every temple. And we need all prayers with that from all religion around the world. We need your solidarity, your prayer, which is the most important to distinguish their sufferings, to stop, to cease the sufferings as soon as possible. Please keep praying for Myanmar. This is in the cemetery. One of the Muslim NLD political leader was killed by the military junta. They prayed at the funeral service in a Muslim tradition, held by the members of National League for the Democracy (NLD) party in Rangoon. Not only in Rangoon, but also Mandalay or Molanya. Some of the Muslims, civilians was killed by the military junta. I mean, we have 320 today. They was killed. Some funerals they could not do themselves. The military junta they do themselves. But they don't show the dead body. They don't give at the dead bodies. It's a bad situation. The men in Mogok, senior man in the Ruby Mining Center for the Mogok in Mandalay region was arrested on a Thursday evening and is now being held in Towns prison, according to local sources. Called Yebu Searo was arrested outside of the Nyasidana Social Work Association in Mogok, where a number of protesters were hiding as they plagued a crackdown by security forces. A brief of the arrest showed about 30 soldiers raiding their office and shooting rubber bullets at the protesters who attempt to flee. According to workers at the local clinic, 4 people were injured in the assault. The source in the Mogok told Myanmar Now Media that Yebu Searo was the first to disrupt and it's now facing charge of incitement under the section 505B of the Penal Code. And summons the request to their soldiers, to their police, not to kill the innocent civilians, but they don't listen. Some soldiers they listen, but most soldiers they don't listen what the religious leader are requesting them. It's too bad. Even the Buddhists, sometimes they came to their temple and they insult to the monks. It's too bad the situation. Even they are staying near the temple, not together, not to rescue some victim. What we need is immediate help. That your help is the most important. We need more actions than prayer. So prayer is important. Action is more important. Please help us immediately as soon as possible, such as the foods. In 2019, 2020, because of COVID-19, the economy is too bad. People have a lack of job, lack of money. Some families they don't have enough food, but we are sharing what we have each other. That's why we see the solidarity between us. During these conflicts, we we could not have had each and everyone because their doctor they do CDM. That's why their hospital are closed. That's why we need medical aid and humanitarian aid. The doctor they have free of charge to the Protestant injuring the patients, but the medicines they could not suppose in the free. Please suppose CRPH and also reject the military junta. Please stand with that demand to restore democracy in Myanmar and to protect the embassy. If you have in your country, Myanmar embassies demand to get democracy as soon as possible, to release our political leader, and also not to kill our innocent people, to stop the military junta as soon as possible. This is we would like to ask you your heads, you are supposed as soon as possible. Thank you so much for your key attention.
Thank you very much, Biko Mandala. Now we will move on to the next presenter. We have with us from also joining us from Myanmar, Ko Tue. So just 1 minute. Yes. So Ko Tue, he is a lay activist from Myanmar, and he works with Lay Mission Institute, and he will be giving us insight on how the different religions, what roles they are playing amidst the military coup. Over to you, Ko.
Well, thank you. Thank you, Nilan, and thank you for all the participants, and thank you for all this kind of webinar and this opportunity to share something about our country. Let me have the presentation. I'm here on behalf of our Mount John, the director and founder of Lay Mission Institute. I'm presenting this presentation, especially on the religious response against the military coup. The Buddhists, the Muslims, the Christians and Hindus, we are united in protesting against the coup since the very first day. As you can see here in the picture, there are two sisters, one Hindu, one Muslim, and one Buddhist. They are together, united, protesting against the coup. And religious leaders gather together and pray together for those who were shot dead at day protest and at night guard by the military terrorists. They visited their family members and supported and gave comfort for their lost ones. Even some Buddhists apologized the Rohingya Muslims with big banners because we were so silent and ignorant, and in support of the military when the Rohingya Muslims persecution occurred in our country back in 2017. Now we know the consequences, the suffering of our brethren, Rohingya Muslims. And of course, the security forces arrested the suspected leaders of the protests and of those who are high profiles to prevent and end the protests. In Buddhist response, as the Bhikkhu already shared about it, the state's Tanga Maha Nayaka committee, we call this Mahana in short form, appealed the military not to use violence act against the innocent civilians protesters. And thousands of monks are protesting the coup, despite brutally cracked down. Even some monks hold violent acts of the security forces. In Christian response, the CBCM, Catholic Bishops' Conference of Myanmar, Myanmar Council of Churches, MCC, and Myanmar Evangelical Alliance, MEA, they are the big Christian institution in Myanmar. They are not socio-politically active. The CBCM and the MCC statements are not prophetic enough to denounce the coup. And most of the CBCM statements do not refer to the biblical verses, the Code of Canon Law, and what else. They do not refer, they just make the statement, plain statement. The MEA is not engaging in the political affair. As a Christian institution, Myanmar Christian voice against the coup is very, very soft. In Catholic response, the CBCM forbids priests and religious to join the protests. And this discouraged the laity to involve in the protests. And it also forbids the layperson the use of Catholic flags and symbols such as Bibles, rosary in the protests. And while the whole country is banking pots and pans in protest to the coup, the CBCM encourages the Catholics to recite rosary at 8 p.m. every night. In diocese approach, there are 16 dioceses in Myanmar, 700,000 Catholics out of 54 million population in Myanmar. Even though the CBCM is not active, Archbishop Marku Tien from Mandalay is the only bishop to join the protest. He stood in front of the cathedral and raised 3 fingers and raised some banners in support of the protests against the coup. Other bishops do not show up on street, except Monsignor Francis, the emeritus bishop of Myitkyina. He halted violent acts of the security forces and helped those who were injured. Here is the Archbishop Marku Tien, and here is Monsignor Francis, the emeritus bishop of Myitkyina. Even though the CBCM forbids priests and religious to join the protests, many priests from different religious and different religious orders joined the protests. Of course, except the bishop and their superiors. But some superiors showed up on the street. Some priests tried to hold the security forces and defend the innocent and unarmed protesters. These are some pictures. For the religious sisters are the very forefront of the event. They were very brave. They were our inspiration to join the protests against the coup. Some nuns defend the civilians and protect the civilians and hold the violent acts of the security forces. These sisters is Sister Rose Nu Thong from Myitkyina Diocese. She halted security forces and protect the peaceful protesters. We even call her a living saint, the living saint from Myanmar. Very inspiration for the Christians and all the protesters from Myanmar. For Cardinal Charles Maungbo, he urged dialogue between Aung San Suu Kyi and the military leader. He calls that killing must stop at once. And recently, he calls the Catholic youth to protest peacefully, although the state-sponsored terrorist military is brutally cracking down, torturing, killing. He calls the Catholic youth to protest peacefully. For the Catholic media, Radio Veritas Asia Myanmar Service promotes prayers for peace, and saying it is more liturgical and pastoral than social and prophetic. Church leaders were not active in any protest against the military coup. Myanmar Catholic Church leaders were silent and inactive. Any protests occurred in Myanmar back in 1988, 2007, and of course the Rohingya persecution 2017, and now 2021 military coup. They just kept silent. Therefore, the lay people, the laity, we are not satisfied with the church leaders. For the laity approach, despite the CBCM forbidden not to join the protest, the lay people join with Catholic flag, rosary, and cross. We just disobey the CBCM. A good number of us are on the streets to protest, and as a medical team, we help the injured people. So how can we help Myanmar? There is some points. By political influence on their respective government, and to put pressure on rebellion countries to recognize CRPH, that is committee representing Pitangsu Luto. It is elected members of parliaments since the last election, November 2020, as a legitimate government, and to boycott military products and its affiliated products if you have any in your country, and of course, make in China products, because China is backing up the military. And to put pressure also on China to stop backing up the military. And also to put pressure UN to take strong actions against the military. A lot of statements regarding the military coup, UN statements is very helpful for us, and we need also to take strong actions to stop this killing, brutally torturing, killing day and night by the coup, and to advocate the UN to provide protection by presence. And of course, to show, if we could show some concrete fraternal solidarity. This is the presentation, a short presentation from the, on behalf of the Lay Mission Institute. And thank you so much for your time and your support and your solidarity. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much, Ho Thwe, for your presentation. A lot of insight into the how the different religious are playing their roles and what is happening there. Now I would like to give some information that we received from a few of our partners who are in Thailand about the situation near the Myanmar and the Thailand border. So I'd like to share my presentation. Okay. Yes. So the situation in near the border after the military coup, the crackdown on February 2nd, a lot of ethnic groups they've started moving towards the Thai border, and especially you can see that a lot of women and children, particularly, are fleeing from Myanmar. Their lives are at risk. And then we have some information that around 5,000 people have managed to escape from the firing between the Karen National Union and the Myanmar Army. So the Karen National Union has been protecting the people who demonstrated against the military in the coup. Here, I'd like to show some pictures that were sent by one of the catechists who are helping them and taking care by providing some food and some clothing. So as you can see that there are a lot of women and children who have been migrating from the Myanmar border and trying to enter into Thailand for safety purposes. So the local official leaders in the area are looking after these migrants and are providing some basic needs for them. And around that time, this was maybe in the third week of March, a university in Chiang Mai, which is closer to the border, they had a gathering, an interreligious gathering to discuss and share about the situation that's happening in Myanmar. And this gathering also concluded in a group prayer by all the religious groups that were presented there, and including the Catholic priests. And the Thai government is said to have made some arrangements for the migrants who are coming in, and they are actually worried if this number grows, how they're going to manage them. So, but it is said that the Thai government is making some arrangements along the border. So this is the end of the presentation. Also, there is a video which I would like to share. This was posted by the South China Morning Post, which is also describing the same situation there. So please watch. Just a moment.
Somebody please stop the Burma Army. That's the number one need, is security and survival. That's number one. Now, number two is food. As they get displaced, they've got to eat. They can't go back and start their crops. They can't prepare for the next fields. They can't look after the animals. So the second is food. Third, once they're out moving, maybe sharing one small stream, people get sick. And so they need medicine, shelter, that's tarps, school supplies, because they're going to keep trying to learn. So those are the main things.
Okay, so I hope you are able to get an insight into what is happening along the borders as well as within Myanmar. This video tried to capture some of the events that occurred as early as February until the end of February. So that is all for the presentation. Thank you. And now we have come to the end of the first part, which we had two speakers presenting about the situation in Myanmar. And now I'd like to move on to the second session. We will have the question and answer session after the discussion session by the panel right now. So please, if you have any questions, please make note of it. And once we are done with the discussion by the discussion panel, we can come back to the question and answers. In the discussion panel, we have 4 panelists. So first, I'd like to introduce Reverend Irma Pico Balaba. She is from the Philippines. She is the program coordinator of the Christian Unity and Ecumenical Relations in NCCP, the National Council of Churches in the Philippines. So I invite you, Reverend Irma, to share some of your insights regarding this military coup. Over to you.
Good evening. Can you hear me clearly?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yeah. In behalf of the National Council of Churches in the Philippines, our international solidarity to all freedom-loving people of Myanmar, and to all of us who are here this evening in this webinar, heeding the call to support Myanmar people and democracy. The National Council of Churches in the Philippines issued a statement a few weeks ago, or a month ago, and we expressed our utmost concern regarding the abrupt return to military rule of Myanmar and the onslaught of arrests and killings of activists, leaders of organizations, and members of civil society in the country. The NCCP also joined with the World Council of Churches and the Christian Conference of Asia in praying for a swift and peaceful return to the path of democracy and appeal for the human rights and freedoms, including the freedom of religion or belief of all Myanmar people, to be fully respected and protected. We mourn for those whose lives have been snuffed out to the brutal curtailment of and violation of the right to peaceably assemble. And we honor the lives of the students, the activists, political officials, medical frontliners, and even religious leaders who brave the streets to reclaim Myanmar's fragile democracy. The NCCP expressed our support to the citizens of Myanmar in your rightful protest demanding the restoration of democracy. As violence and iron fist gloom over our countries, not only in Myanmar, but also here in the Philippines, we join you, citizens of Myanmar, our brothers and sisters in Myanmar, in your quest for justice, democracy, and peace. Your fight is not only the fight for Myanmar, but also a struggle for democracy and freedom in Southeast Asia. We call to end of the senseless violence of the military perpetrated against the people, and we demand for the military junta to be held accountable for all the lives lost. There is indeed an urgent call to the Christian community in my country and in the world to stand in solidarity with the people of Myanmar in asserting their civil and political rights. Because what happened in Myanmar can happen anywhere, and we do not want that. It is an important lesson for any government around the world, as it is happening now in the Philippines. The present dispensation under the fascist rule of President Rodrigo Duterte declared martial law in Mindanao. He appointed retired military general and civilian key positions in the government. He pushed for the enactment of the anti-terrorism law, but in the actual implementation, they are running after the oppositions, running after his political dissenters and critics. He appointed military and not medical experts in the COVID response. And amid the onslaught of the COVID-19 pandemic, human rights abuses in all forms, from surveillances, harassment and intimidation, filing of trump-up charges, illegal arrest, abduction, and extrajudicial killings were state perpetrated against the farmers, workers, indigenous peoples, doctors, lawyers, journalists, and church people. We are under the militaristic rule of a president who waged war against its very own people and refuses to pursue peace based on justice through peace negotiations. Any and all attempts by the military to take over the civilian and the democratically established governments around the world, much to the detriment of the citizenry, must be resisted. The resistance of the people of Myanmar earned the support and sympathy of the international community, prodding the United Nations Human Rights Council to issue a resolution condemning the military coup, shameful withdrawal from the UNHRC resolution. Yet we find this unsurprising for the Philippine government, given the present administration's consistent refusal for any investigation on human rights abuses in our country. The Philippine government had dissociated from the said resolution. Military offensives, as we learned in the news, in ethnic areas in Myanmar, have resulted in indiscriminate killings, torture, and forced displacements among many rights abuses. The call to uphold democracy must also translate to respect for indigenous people's rights, including the right to self-determination. But my brothers and sisters, no matter how powerful it is, military rule and tyrannical rule of the military is a mere paper tiger if confronted by a determined resistance of the oppressed people. History proves it, and so with the people of Myanmar, and in our very own history in the Philippines. We commit to join our brothers and sisters in Myanmar in prayer and in continuously advocating for them, for you, our brothers and sisters, in different platforms of discourses like what we did this evening, and it's also with our engagement with the people of citizens of Myanmar living here in the Philippines. They seek also help from us in some discussions. And may we as well be enlightened of the similarities of what the Filipino people go through with the fascist militaristic regime of the current dispensation. We will continue to hold in prayer our brothers and sisters here in the Philippines and Myanmar as we journey and struggle together with the people until democracy is reinstituted, until killings are stopped, and until peace and justice reign in the land. No to military rule, yes to democracy. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Reverend Dharma, for your important and insightful sharing. And now I'd like to invite Professor Francis Lee to share his insight. Professor Francis Lee is from South Korea. He is the executive director of Just Peace, and will give us more insight about this situation. Over to you.
Thank you, Nilan. Thank you, Nilan, for your sweet, soft moderation. I'm Francis. Happy to see you, everyone. And thank you to Uri Theology Institute and All Forum. Thank you, everyone, for joining this very important meeting. My name is Francis. I'm based in Seoul, South Korea. I work with an NGO called Just Peace. We are working towards justice and peace. It's a group of people with faith, mostly with Catholic Church. And thank you, the two speakers. At the beginning, I learned a lot. I think we learned a lot about the recent situation in Myanmar. I'd like to express full support and solidarity and condolence to those people who have fallen during your struggle for democracy. We in South Korea, we are very hot, energetic, trying to support your movement for democracy and to defeat the military. Every day we hear statements of solidarity, denouncing the military and the coup, from trade union, from civil society groups, and even from local government. And also the Ministry of Foreign Affairs intervened to stop cooperation with Myanmar government controlled by the military. And the foreign aid is now in the process of being controlled from South Korea to Myanmar. Trade unions have staged a very strong protest against a Korean mega giant company called POSCO. It's a steel company investing in Myanmar, working closely with Myanmar company affiliated with the military. We are hoping to stop this cooperation very soon. This will be this is a mega project from the Korean steel company to the Myanmar steel company. And we are hoping to stop this cooperation very soon. And at the same time, we also realize that maybe more important than issuing statement and showing street actions in support of your struggles, we realize the importance of sustaining your struggles, giving support. And I'm very happy that the fundraising is increasing. There is a quite significant amount of accumulated fundraising, expecting that the struggle in Myanmar for democracy will not be short. It will go for some time. And there is a great need of humanitarian assistance for refugees, for medical needs, for women and children, and also for those young people fighting on the streets. We understand that very well, I think, because of our own experience of long, difficult struggles against our own military from 1980s. It took decades, and we needed a wide, very broad, and very long-term support from every angle of the world. So we are trying to do the same. And another point that I like to highlight, that including some groups in South Korea, we understand that there is a call for the UN military forces to intervene in Myanmar situation. And a large number of civil society groups in South Korea, we are very careful about that. We are now starting to have a debate whether what potential risk or even downturn the international military involvement will bring about. And we understand very clearly that the Myanmar military is not a weak military. It has thousands of tanks and hundreds of fighter planes. It's well trained. And when there is a foreign military intervention, many of us are very deeply worried that the situation will go into a full-scale war. And the damages and victims will be much higher and larger scale than what we are expecting today. And more than that, the initiatives and the ownership of democratic struggles by Myanmar people will be handed over to international agencies. So that's the kind of discussions we are having here. We are being very careful in South Korea not to voice out, to call for international military intervention. And it is in the context of China-US tension at the same time. We don't want Myanmar struggle for democracy to be an international warfare happening in Myanmar soil. We don't want that. So that means if we exclude international military intervention option out of the question, if we put that out of the question, I think we have to be much more strategic, much more resilient, and much more insistent in supporting and creating real solidarity with the Myanmar people for their democratic struggles. This support should be both from the heart and from the body and from every angle we can think of. And at the same time, I like to highlight, recently we heard the news that Myanmar people, politicians and major groups are establishing an interim government to properly represent the Myanmar people. And we in the civil society in South Korea feel that this establishment of interim government, we don't have much information, but if it is well established, the role of the interim government will be very, very crucial. And if there is such a representative body in lieu of the military government, then our role, the civil society groups in South Korea, along with the government, is to call for the South Korean government and South Korean agencies, and also other governments and agencies, to work closely with the interim government in order to weaken the political power of the military government in Myanmar. I think this will be a very important step. But I would also like to bring an agenda to our discussion that many of us in South Korea, especially in the civil society, we remember the shock from 2017 when those minority people in Myanmar, usually known as Rohingyas, when they were brutally oppressed, and many of them were killed by military. And when majority of the ruling party were silent on this, I would like to ask your understanding that in South Korea, there are questions. If there is an interim government, and when the Myanmar people are fighting for democracy, are we also supporting democracy that will include Rohingyas and other minorities as our friends, as our brothers and sisters? Are religious groups in Myanmar and in Asia, are we working together towards such an inclusive democracy? So there are questions on this from South Korea. And so therefore, my deduction, my thinking is this: if these questions are properly answered, I think the active support that we in South Korea would like to organize will be more dynamic and more active and larger and broader. And that I would like to work for, and that I would like to advocate for. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Professor Francis. for sharing. So yes, we were supposed to have 2 more members as part of this discussion panel, but unfortunately they've not been able to join. So shall we move forward to have the question and answers? Agree? Okay. So among the participants who've joined here, please feel free to share a question. First, let's take 3 questions and then we can continue with the next round of questions. Anybody who would like to go first? Also, there are a few participants who have joined us on YouTube. They are watching us live now. So even for you, please drop your questions and I will put it forward here in the webinar on Zoom.
Nilan, can you have a gallery view so that the plenary is like a plenary?
It is
Can you have a
it is on gallery view. I have canceled the spotlight. Let me try once again. Is it okay now or is it still?
Oh, it's okay. It's gallery view now.
Okay.
For me, I'll share something. It's not a question. I just want to share a deep sense of powerlessness and also pain and anger when I listen to Kothway, how the church leaders are very passive, silent, and even forbidding priests and religious to join the protest. I find all that extremely disturbing. So really at a loss to see what can be done, how can we. I'm very happy with what Dr. Lee shared. At least the South Korean civil society is more engaged and active. I think in India, we are saying we have too many issues within the country, or maybe India is playing a very safe game in order to not to mount more trouble with China. So, church leaders are also very, very indifferent. So, I'm really wondering where to begin, what can be done.
Thank you, Ms. Kochurani. Is there any question or a comment from any of the participants?
I don't know whether it's a question or what, but it's really, I felt speechless when I heard about 2 of the speakers and then a panelist. They have given us, I was feeling like I did not know about what is actually happening at Myanmar, and now I was feeling to like cry. It's painful. It's really painful. And I was thinking, since I am a lay person, not only that regarding I'm not from clergy, but I'm a lay person that I don't belong to any, government officials. So I was thinking, being living in a country who is really depending somehow on China, and then being a part of minority where we are scared of certain laws. What can I do? I was, from that time I'm just thinking, and I'm feeling like I should not feel helpless, but could anybody suggest what should I do? As from uh, all forum suggested us to make what we made posters. So we have showed. So this is not the only way, no. So what should I do, being a common lay person? I'm really feeling to do something, but I don't know. I really don't know. I don't have any platform. So I can only share with which I have done. I shared to my students. I have shared to my, certain colleagues that this situation is happening, and I requested them to pray, and I am praying every day. But since our Buddhist monk, they said we don't need prayer only. We need some action. So what action, being a, I don't have any influence on government. So I don't have that type of background, but I wish to do something. So could any one of you recommend that, from, such living in a critical situation, how can I do something? Because I wish to do something. I don't know what to do. And it's really very painful. So I wish to do somehow something. Thank you.
Thank you, Afshan, for your spirit.
I would like you to suggest to do your step individually to pray to your God to restore peaceful society in Myanmar. And also, if you use the social media, you could say send message to suppose the Myanmar people, you stand with them or something like that. We don't hope for too much from each and everyone, but if you could have it will be more grateful for us. But if you pray for it, it's also enough for us.
Yeah, we are praying, but we wish, I was just thinking that certain clips which I was thinking to, get from something, and I can share on my Facebook. I am planning to do this, but if there is anything else, if we can do, please do feel, contact me. So if I can do anything, I'll be very grateful.
Now we have a CRPH fundraisings, and you could share the fundraisings, the link to your society, to your social media and friends platform. They could donate maybe $1 or $2, as much as that they could. It also supports ads.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, there is one more question coming in from YouTube. One of our viewers have asked, has said that it was mentioned that the people of faith are not satisfied by the position of the CBCM. Why is the CBCM rather silent? What are the demands towards the CBCM? What would you wish for the CBCM to do? So I'd request Kotwe.
Yeah, for the CBCM, we lay people would like to request that the CBCM should condemn the COP. In the statement, they even just don't say condemn word. They just request. request not to use violence and to have dialogue with the arrested leaders. And also their statements to the faithful, they are not just referring the Bible, the Code of Canon Law, the Catholic social teaching. They not a single word, a single line. They just state plainly. So for us, we wish the CBM should strongly oppose and stand the people of Myanmar, not standing the line. You mean? You know what I mean? They are not standing right or left. They are just standing both sides. So it's not satisfactory to us. I wish I could I answer their question.
Okay. Thank you, Kothwe. I hope the viewer has got his answer. If there is...
I want to say something.
Okay. Yes, go ahead, Ms. Alishwa.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. First of all, I would like to thank you all forum for such a nice opportunity for all of us, and also panelists for such a nice information. And this is very essential for all of us. We have to show solidarity for our brothers and sisters of Myanmar. My question is to all forum, what is step forward and future plan of all forum for Myanmar? And what is in your plan you have to do for Myanmar in future? Because we are sitting here and we are talking about them, how we can do something for them. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Alishwa. Paul, would you like to answer the question?
Yeah, I don't have the exact answer to what Alishba raised right before. But the first, the main goal is for us to organize this webinar or conference is to make ourselves as Asian to understand what happened exactly in Myanmar. The correct understanding of the situation happening in Myanmar is first. Without which we cannot, we can't do anything. So we did, by MENA, WTI, World Theology Institute in Seoul, we had a webinar like this. So on the level of a nation in Korea, since as a part of a civil society, that we did the same. The first, what happened in Myanmar, yeah, we heard and seen the military coup. And after that, the cruel suppression, even as many killings, like what Venerable the Mandela shared. As of March 25th, we have more than 250, 60 lives already killed by military. So that is the reality. So under the situation, what should we do as the believer, as a Christians, or as a believer following other religious tradition in Korea or in Asia? That is the second, the purpose of this webinar. So the deeper your understanding, the correct and more correct understanding of what happened in Myanmar, the better and the more efficient that we have to seek the way to help or make solidarity in Myanmar people. That is the second one. So as the people involved in believe in religions, we more on the part of the more need to talk about what happened in the Buddhism and what happened in the other religions in Myanmar, so that such the clear understanding help us to discuss further. So we don't have all forum has the clear plan to do next step, or a step further. Based on this discussion happen in here, then we could do something. So it is the place we have to discuss and look for the way to support or building to build solidarity with the Myanmar people. Follow up Alishba's Coach Rani's dismay or disappointment. I'm also here want to share my feelings also. Yet think about the minority, Christianity as minority, 1.3 or 5 is Catholic, only 700,000 people. Maybe Cardinal Charles Bo to protect their own Catholics. Yeah, the same is true with NCC, maybe MCP, the different name of the churches, Council of Churches in Myanmar. They're also not, that's what I heard, that churches is not also active in protesting against the military. That means the church leaders are not encouraging their own people to be actively participated in, helping or making a solidarity with their own people, which is a shame. So one of way for us as a lay people to look think deeply, and then how then we ask church leaders in Myanmar, as well as in Asia as a whole, to, if not intervene, to support Myanmar people who now being killed today or tomorrow. If they keep silencing, we are the one who, make a way out to support them. That's what we need to discuss here and now. Yeah, I have to stop here at the moment. Thank you.
Thank you, Paul. Also, I'd like to introduce Father Vinay. He's joined us in the webinar. Welcome, Father Vinay. Would you like to share some of your thoughts regarding the situation, even in Thailand?
Oh, yes, good afternoon, good evening, right? Yeah, actually, because I think, thank you for coming a little bit late, but thank you for the invitation to join the seminar. I feel that what I feel very much consoled is that many people, many Christians, that we also concerned with the situation in Burma area. Actually, I have been contacting the people in the area a lot, especially people in the border area, that they flee to the border, they're afraid of the situations, and also people are coming across to Thailand, started to cross to Thailand secretly. and especially in this situation of the pandemic as well. So people are double worry about things that are going on. And it's also people have to keep in secret that, you know, somehow like their brother and sister, but they cross the border, and especially during this kind of pandemic times. And yes, I just maybe, you know, just say, would like to say thank you, and I just follow what the conversation that you are carrying on, that because already there's already a panel and there's a talk, right? Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Father Vinay, for your comment. How about the others? Is there a question, or if you'd like to share something to be added on, please go ahead.
Can I add a few more comments?
Yes, Professor Francis.
Yes, I'm Francis again, and thank you for all the comments and questions. I'd like to briefly go back to what happened in South Korea when the military staged coup and people were beginning to resist, late 1970s and 80s. You know, not all religious leaders were supporting the freedom and democracy of the people. Even though Catholic Church was a minority religious group in South Korea, some of the bishops and cardinals were very active, very vocal for democracy and for human rights and for freedom of people, and to push back the military. But majority of the leaders were not. What I'm trying to say is that church leadership, religious leadership, has never been united, never been univocal in this kind of situation. Never, never. They are always divided. And you know, there is Vatican and there is Rome, there is international religious network. But if the national leadership is passive, the international influence cannot penetrate, cannot go into the country very easily. So the focus should be to influence, to affect and persuade the religious leadership to make the compromised or passive religious leaders, to persuade those leaders to stand for the people and stand with the people. And we understand very well in Asia, including South Korea, the role of the religious leaders are crucial, not just to be friends of the people, but also to make this process more peaceful, to reduce the bloodshed. The role of the religious leaders are crucial. So I think we should, everywhere, every country, we should strengthen our efforts to talk to and to press the religious leaders in Myanmar to stand for the people so that they become the beacon of the peaceful process of the transition. You know, when military stages a coup and when the people are not physically and in terms of physical force strong enough to stand against the military, the level of bloodshed is enormous. It will run for decades. And we have seen that in Myanmar before and in many other countries before, in South Korea before. So I think this is much more urgent to talk to persuade and to press the religious leadership in Myanmar. I think this is very urgent. I think we have to use every effort, every means to do that. So I urge the Korean Christian groups to increase their pressure to talk to the Christian leadership in Myanmar to change their position from passive to active. This is crucial. and I'm advocating Korean Buddhist groups. You know, in South Korea, there is a very active young Myanmar activist group, and we have frequent discussions with them. And they also tell us the stories that the Buddhist leadership in Yangon is not so active yet. So we, in the civil society, we are trying to talk to Korean Buddhist leaders so that they can exercise pressure to Myanmar Buddhist leaders to be more active in standing for the people, to reduce the bloodshed. And my second point, especially on the chat board, there is continuous comments on calling for American military intervention and UN military intervention. Well, I understand the heart behind this call, but we have to understand the regional and global, very dangerous regional and global situation surrounding this. To enable international military intervention, a resolution has to be passed in Security Council. And China is there. So it's mostly unlikely that such a resolution will pass. But let's imagine that a resolution passes in the Security Council of the UN. Then the major military force will be provided by the US. That means US will be invading an Asian country in Asian region, where there are so many tensions between military and non-military forces. So what we have witnessed in Iraq and Afghanistan, similar things may happen in Asian soil. This is not anymore a Myanmar case. This is a global warfare happening in the Asian continent. So that's what UN military intervention means. And that's the international situation today. So I'm not saying that we have to stick with only peaceful ways of resistance. No, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that. But international military intervention, we have to be very careful about this. And my third point is that how much we hope for, no matter how much we hope for, fighting against the military coup is a long process. We need long-term support. So we need prayer meetings, we need statements, we need organizing, but we need also financial support. Hundreds of thousands of US dollars every year. That's what democratic movement requires. So as international friends, I think we have to be ready to support Myanmar democracy if we want to support Myanmar democracy for many years to come, many years to come. So I will finish here. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Professor Francis. That's very important, what you shared. Yes, Monica, please go ahead.
Hello, nice to meet you again. I'm Monica. As I presented myself, a missionary living in South Korea. I just would like to say thank you for sharing about the situation in Myanmar. I was also very touched hearing from you personally what is happening there. And also as a Catholic, I was ashamed of hearing about the no response of the church leaders. And I would like to support what Professor Francis said about the importance of the leader, Catholic leader support in this fight against for the democracy. Also as a person who comes from Poland, that also we had many in our history, many moments that we had to fight for democracy. I also recognize that it is very important that the church leaders stand for and speak up, because it's them who have a lot of influence and give the courage to the faithful also to be able to continue the fight. So also I hope and as you said, we should do everything that they may respond to this situation. Thank you very much, and thank you for being able to participate in this moment.
Thank you very much, Ms. Monica, for your share. We do have time for maybe one more question. Yes, Reverend.
Just a reflection for the sharing this evening. There's really a great challenge for us church people to really take a stand. In times of oppression, there is no room for neutrality. We really have to take a stand. And of course, that stand will be for the victims, for the oppressed, and not for the oppressor. Not to take side with the tyrants, with the dictator. So it's a great task for us, international friends, and to do our part on how we can help to encourage those Christian community in Myanmar to exercise their prophetic role. In the Philippines, we had that experience on how the people's power work in ousting a dictator. With the different sectors in the community, with the church people, nuns, priests, pastors are coming out. And so also in our situation now, in the Philippines, we are also facing these challenges. Many church people are also facing trumped-up charges and harassment. And even myself, I experienced being red tagged. But we continue in our advocacy for justice and peace. So we really have to work hand in hand, as what Professor mentioned earlier. Now is Myanmar, but this will happen in other countries of Southeast Asia. With the invasion of the powerful countries. So we really have to work hard on how we can plan together, or in the future engagement, how we can help our brothers and sisters in Myanmar and other parts of Southeast Asia who are experiencing the same fate. Thank you.
Thank you, Reverend Doma. Is there another question from any of the participants?
Yes, Nilan, I want to ask Venerable Mandala about the possibility for monks like you to persuade, or if not pressure, but through talking or other method, to make the leaders of Buddhism there, those in a hierarchy, to be in front of protest or actively involved in the people's protest. I want to hear from you about this. Would you share your idea? Thank you.
I'm not very clear what you want to know about the question, but I think the leadership of the Buddhist monks for the protester in Myanmar, is this what is your question?
Yeah. I know, I understand. There are many occasions in your country in which, like what you present in your presentation, some monks actively involved in protest against the military. in 1988, 2007 Saffron Revolution, and even now. But many part of monks, even those in hierarchy, don't move. So any possibility, monks like you to persuade them, to ask them, to demand them to be in front, to protect the people. So that's is this a possibility?
Yeah.
If yes, then what kind of possibility is this?
You know, the military wanted they divide, they know how to divide the group, the Sangha organization. You know, we have count number about 500,000 monk and nuns, but you know, some monks they have fear, and also they hate the Muslims. So Islamophobias are here too much. That's why we had the problems against the Rohingya community. They don't accept as a human being like that. That's why they support military junta. They are so stupid. I would like to say that. Um, but many Buddhist monks they didn't raise their voice for the people who suffer in the situation, and also they don't understand uh, the real meaning of Buddhist compassion. Just they know they learn the words, but they don't change their attitudes to understand the suffering of the people. So they put their labor some people, and then they they close their door not to see clearly the other people who suffer more, and uh, they cannot see all people are the same. They cannot feel their suffering who are suffering in this situation. Even we are under the control of the army, even who suppose the military, they also are suffering. So I don't think they will lead the democratic transition. They like to live under the control of the army. They thought that the military can prevent Buddhism. Actually, they destroy Buddhism. They don't understand the real situation. But many men who like a democratic movement, who like freedom of worship, freedom of religion. So we encourage the monks to lead our society to separate the equal rights for everyone, to accept as a citizens, or Myanmar citizens there. And then I'm not hierarchy or monk. I am already monk, and then I just encouraging the people uh, who has the power, who can influence in our society to understand the diversity, to understand their pluralistic society, to promote a democratic transition, which is the most important to build a peaceful society in Myanmar. If not, we could not see, so we could not stop the conflict in Myanmar, because the Myanmar is the 135 ethnic groups, the different belief, different religion, and if we could not solve the kinds of conflicts, you know, one problem and the other problem will continue. We could not continue in our society peacefully. That's why it's to promote freedom of belief and freedom of worship or freedom from fear, all together we should get equally. We have to promote democratic idea in Myanmar. This is the extension for religious leaders, for all political leaders, to provide the pluralistic society. That is what I do in Myanmar right now.
Okay. Thank you, Biko Mandala. There was also one more question, I think. Rama, you raised your hand. Would you like to?
Yes, yes.
Please go ahead.
Thank you, moderator. Okay. I don't know, it's a question, but I'd like to comment from my own perspective. Here's what I believe, that everyone here have a fundamental question, that how can we involve to support regarding on what it's happened in Myanmar. Also, I have that question too. So maybe I'd like to tell a little about my background. I'm a student in Indonesia. I'm also involved in civil society organization called the Union of Catholic University of the Republic of Indonesia. I'd like to do something regarding this issue. So here's my perspective. I think what happened in Myanmar is so much alike to what happened in Indonesia. If you ever heard about the coup in Indonesia around 1965, I'd like to say it is called General Suharto's coup. There are many resistance movements by the civil society and also by the people in Indonesia. It's similar in Myanmar. We know there's a civil disobedience movement. And in Indonesia, it happens until 1998. The democratic transition, what we call as Reformation movement in Indonesia. So I myself, as a student, as also as the activist of civil society organization in Indonesia, I'd like to contribute. What I can contribute, maybe I can use the platform from my organization to arrange some kind of discussion or webinar like this. But I'd like to put more focus on the democratic transition. Is there anything that Myanmar could possibly learn from Indonesia? Something like that. So I'd really appreciate if all forum or any panelists or any speakers here would like to join in the discussion that I'd like to arrange soon. I will put my contact and my email in the chat column. So and also I really appreciate if there's a feedback on this. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Rama. So would any of the panelists like to reply?
I think Myanmar and Indonesia has some similarity and some differences. Myanmar has more than 100 ethnic organizations, and also the military. The military is very strong, and also they control the country almost 60 years. And Myanmar people are poor, and the military is rich, and also they did many business here. Not only power, political power they wanted, but also they have many the economic interest in Myanmar. That's why they, they trying to take power over the democratic governments. And I don't know exactly the Indonesian governments and also their situation is the same or differences there. But in Myanmar, we even in their unity also cannot united in the particular places. In Shan states, there were not only Shan. In Rakhine state, it's not only Rakhine, and also still, even one particular places there, and also they had the ethnic organization, and also some organizations they need money. That's why they make a profit by holding their weapon, and also they use pumpy or drug or something like that. They have many businesses, and also they have a very good income. As they lost their power, I don't think they might have that kinds of interest. But we could not see clearly behind their power. They have many economic profits. That's why they are holding their weapon, and it's hard to do dialogue. Not only political interest, but also economic interests are there.
Thank you, Bhikkhu Mandala, for your reply. We have another 5 minutes remaining. We are on time.
We can share it each with each religious and Catholic to raise the money and to raise the food with the medicine to send it to Myanmar.
Can you repeat it, Polycarp? Because we are not
share it with our religious congregation. I suggest the idea to our general priest. Thank you.
I'm not sure we were able to understand it clearly, Polycarp.
We all share it with the community, Catholic community, Buddhist community, or the social community. I can share it with my friend and to communicate with this idea, this thing, this thought to support Myanmar.
Okay, I think what Polycarp is trying to say is that his congregation also is ready to stand in solidarity with the other organizations. Is it correct? Yes. Okay.
Yes, I will try to say it to my congregation.
Okay. Thank you, Polycarp. So if there are no...
Neelan, I want to check with Paul if all forum can in some way, I don't know, we can motivate FABC to see how it can, because all forum is a very Catholic body. Okay, so can all forum write to FABC to see how they can motivate the CBCM to intervene? Because I agree, I was listening to Paul's question, or the bhikkhu said Buddhist organizations, even they are at risk, but they are in the forefront. So why should the Catholic Church be so protective of its institutions?
So, Kuchrani, you asked about All Forum, what to do for writing an official letter to FABC to ask a CBCM to come up. That's what you are trying to say, right? Hello?
Yes, Paul, that's what I was trying to say. I'm just thinking
Yeah.
if we can do something in that direction. Yeah.
Not every year. When we have some occasion, we have had some occasion. All Forum did release a statement to FABC, but the head of FABC at the moment is Cardinal Charles Bo, who is the also, I think, is the chairperson of the CBCM. Am I right, Golamban, Kohota?
Yes, yes. The president is Cardinal Charles Bo.
Yeah. So indeed, I asked Charles Bo, Cardinal Charles Bo, to join to say a few words for the March 17 webinar organized by WTI, Uri Theology Institute, but he didn't reply and he didn't show any sign. So yeah, it is possible for All Forum to write a letter, an official letter to FABC, to especially Cardinal Charles Bo. Everybody wants the participant here wants to do that way, then we could do that. But I'm not sure it's going to make any effect really to make CBCM to move forward. I mean, you know, be supportive, not be in silence, to supportive people in Myanmar. So what do you think? I'm rather asking Kote, you know much better than me about CBCM and the bishops and the clergy in Myanmar Church. Columban, I'm asking you about this.
Sorry, my surroundings noises and I could not hear it.
Yeah, for me, the what Coach Rani said, asking for All Forum to do that kind of work. I mean, write an official letter sent to the FABC to move CBCM.
Oh, okay. Actually, the FABC has stated some statement regarding the military coup in Myanmar. He condemned the coup and signed by, if I'm not mistaken, 10 or 15 cardinals, except our cardinal. He has already made the statement, and it also very helpful. Regarding the official letter from FABC to CBCM, I have no idea if you could also have some suggestion to FABC, it would be great.
Okay, Columban, thank you.
Yeah. You know, it is not that we may see any result, but I think, I agree. If Cardinal Bo is also CBCM president, that is more difficult. But I think if there are different organizations committed to justice and peace, voicing concerns, they will be pressurized to act. Because I really feel if all the religious groups stand together in Myanmar, there is greater pressure on the military coup.
Okay, Kuchran, you're right. I suggest that in the name of the all participants here, all forum will write an official letter to FABC to ask CBCM to pressurize or to give some pressure to the military, if not a pressure, but some you know their their boys really strong boys to the military somehow, and also CBCM to be in front of the protester movement to protect the people. Then is it okay for you to write down your name on your signature together with all forum?
Yeah. Sure. I can put my name and signature.
Yeah, all
participants.
We are now not so many, but all forum can draft, and then send it to the FABC. Then I don't know how FABC responds to the this all forums the official letter, but anyway we can try. If you all agree, it's okay. That's my suggestion. Wayan, you want to say something as Islam? We don't have anyone from Islam, the Muslim boys here.
Not much. I'm speechless. Thank you, Your Excellency, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you for having a chance to take part in this event. Just one message. Since February 1, it has been, I think, 54 days. We are not getting any sound asleep every day and night. So day and day, brutally killing, starting from 7-year-old child in Mandalay. Yeah. So even under 16, 26, under 16 child death toll reach, about 26. So officially there are around 300 who are shot dead or dead after shot, and but publicly accused there will be around 600, and there are also many mixing. So I really appreciate such kind of international and families and communities with us, and the solidarity and any kind of assistance any pence of assistance is beneficial to us. But as I said, I have learned a lot through these three layers of military coup since 1962, 88, and this year 2021. Without the military intervention or any kind of something like the civil war, we cannot win. I'm living within the public, and the fear and the fear of the people has become increase day by day. They are about to surrender. Even at 8 p.m. banking time, there are very few houses banking the pork, including me. Just 2-3 houses. People are trying to stay under the military rule. So therefore, the junta trying to crack down the bankers, the banks, and the shopping malls, as they have nearly won over the demonstration on the roads. Yeah. Therefore, so any kind of international.
All right. Sorry for interrupt, Wayan. So I'm trying to say is not the situation of what happened as of now, but we are in the middle of how could each religion, like Islam you belong to, and Catholic I am belong to, how we as a religious the believers pressurized our leaders in Myanmar to come up to the people, not keeping the silence. So it's, if it is a part of possibility, can we make a joint statement in the name of the all forum, and then it's a joint statement from each religion. We have Islam, we have Buddhism, we have the Catholicism, and then we have Protestantism. But Reverend Irma need some kind of a pressure because it's kind of associations. So that's means a little bit difficult for her to decide herself. So I'm asking this kind of possibility, not what happened.
You mean in the names of all forums?
Yeah.
Statement. Yeah. Whatever it is beneficial, but the junta will not listen anything. The deputy senior general So Wen, he openly he has spoken to the special envoy of the UN Secretary General. So they will go. If even though they are isolated, no other nation is related to them. They will go along. They have many kind of two previous experiences. They can control and manage the country. One day they will be cracked down, and they can manage, and they can do another elections according to their 5 roadmap. They will go. But I welcome, to release a statement. And
all right.
personally,
Okay, thank you.
Involved. I promise.
All right, thank you, Wayan. That's what I want to hear from you. Okay, Nilan, would you take over from here?
Yes, we've come to the end of the time that we had for today's webinar. And it's a very good outcome that we all, almost all of us here, have agreed to come up with a joint statement to move the FFBC and other religious leaders towards taking a responsive action against the military coup. So I'd like to thank all the presenters, the speakers of the webinar, Venerable Mandala and Kotwe for your sharing, and also the discussion panel for giving your insights and possible ways of how we can develop our solidarity, and for all the participants here who've shared their questions and also helped us develop our senses around this issue and understand the sensitivity of it. Thank you all very much for joining this session. Before we close, can we have one group picture, and maybe if it is okay to have the salute, that pro-democratic salute. Okay, so if can we raise 3 fingers and stand in solidarity. Okay. All right, we'll hold for a few seconds, and later I will take a snap of it. All right. Thank you, everyone, for your solidarity. Let's work towards this together as a human community. Not focus on our religion, that is, what do you call, some of the barriers of our religion. Let's unite and take action. Thank you very much. I hope you all have a good evening.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
very
Thank
much.
you, Neelan.
Good evening. Good afternoon.
Thank you, Paul, Neelan, and to all the speakers.
Thank you.
Thank
My
you.
camera was switched off, so.
Especially,
Thank
thank
you,
you,
everyone.
Mandala. Thank you. See you again. Hope.
Okay, bye.
Mandala, I want to see you in Myanmar. Wayan again, and thank you, Polycarp, and thank you, Reverend Vilma, Kote, Francis Lee, Alishiba, Rere. Long time no see. Felicia, Mama.
Okay. See you again. Yes. See you.
See you again.
All the best.
Thank you, Coach Rani.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for joining.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Rere, you look quite different. What happened to you?
Why? Hello, Paul, Nilan.
Hello.
Yeah, you have glasses. You before you didn't,
Really?
right?
Oh, maybe it looks.
Wayan, thank you. Thank you for coming again. Ashfan, thank you.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye. Okay, Nilan, you have a good job today, and it's a difficult discussion because not the team is scattered, and also not so many. 우리 신화 연구소 감사합니다. 이 사람도 얼마 없는데 한승범 감사합니다. 이명 소장님 감사하고 몇 명 되지도 않는데 이거 하느라고. I'm sorry for Korean. I just say thank the Koreans who also, working for the, live streaming for Korean leaders. But the Korean audiences are really, really small, according to the TikTok or Korean group discussions. Anyway. Anyway, you have a good job, and it's a little bit quite a difficult job to do, and yeah, and I hope you restful weekend. We have a meeting, right?
Yes,
Saturday?
tomorrow. Yes.
What time is it?
The same time. Is it 7 p.m. Seoul?
7 p.m. All right. So you see you then.
Yes. See you.
7
then.
7 p.m. Okay. See you
Okay.
then. Bye bye.